The rhythmic tapping echoes through the forbidden third floor, a sound no one in the Harrington mansion is supposed to hear. But Celeste Williams has never been good at following rules that don't make sense. She finds him in a corner of what should be a child's bedroom, but looks more like a medical facility. Nathan, 8 years old, rocks back and forth, his fingers drumming against the wall with increasing desperation. The noise-canceling headphones meant to help have slipped off. A tablet loops the same educational program endlessly. A note on the sterile table reads, "Behavioral specialist arrives 3 p.m. Do not engage outside scheduled interventions." 18 months ago, Victoria Harrington died suddenly, and this house stopped breathing. Her husband Michael retreated into architecture and video conferences. Her daughter Gabrielle became a ghost of perfection. Her son Cameron disappeared into video games and silence. And Nathan was moved upstairs, where visitors wouldn't see him, where the family's carefully curated image could remain intact. 4 housekeepers have quit in as many months. The agency warned Celeste this would be a difficult placement. They didn't mention the child hidden on the 3rd floor. Celeste doesn't call for Michael. She doesn't wait for the specialist. She simply sits down on the hardwood floor, 6 feet from Nathan, and begins to tap her own fingers, matching his rhythm exactly. 20 minutes pass before Nathan's hand reaches out and briefly touches hers. Stay with us to witness how one woman's refusal to look away changed everything. Not because she was an expert, but because she was finally paying attention. The Harrington estate rises from manicured grounds like something from a magazine spread, which it was 18 months ago, when Victoria was still alive to arrange the flowers and ensure every photograph captured the family at their best. Now, the house gleams with a different quality, the sterile perfection of a place no one truly inhabits. Celeste Williams notices this the moment she steps through the service entrance at 8 on Monday morning. The kitchen is spotless. Not clean, spotless. Not a single coffee ring mars the marble counters. No breakfast dishes wait in the sink. The refrigerator hums with expensive silence, stocked with prepared meals in containers that bear the logo of some upscale delivery service. The previous housekeeper lasted 2 weeks, the one before her 10 days. Celeste is the 5th in 18 months, which the agency mentioned apologetically, as if warning her away from a house that devours help. Michael Harrington appears for exactly 5 minutes at 8:15, already on his phone. He's handsome in that careful way wealthy men maintain. Expensive haircut, tailored shirt, the kind of watch that costs more than Celeste's car. But his eyes drift past her, past the kitchen, past everything immediate and real. "You're the new..." He pauses, distracted by something. On his screen. "The agency sent your information. Cleaning schedule is in the binder. I'm in meetings all day. Don't disturb the 3rd floor. The children have their own routines." Then he's gone, retreating to what she assumes is his office, the door closing with a soft, expensive click. Celeste explores methodically. 12,000 square feet of architectural awards and emotional emptiness. The living room showcases furniture arranged for photographs rather than comfort. Formal portraits line the hallways. Michael, a beautiful blonde woman who must be Victoria, and 2 children. Always 2, never 3. She finds Gabrielle's bedroom first, perfect as a staged showroom, the bed made with military precision, not a single item out of place. The desk holds textbooks arranged by size, notebooks with color-coded tabs. The only hint of humanity is a small frame turned face down on the nightstand. Celeste doesn't touch it. Cameron's room tells a different story. The bed is made, but the media setup dominates. Multiple monitors, gaming equipment, headphones hung on a stand like a shrine to isolation. A glass of water sits forgotten, dust floating on its surface. In the kitchen, Celeste finds the prescription bottles. Michael's anxiety medication, Gabrielle's sleep aid, Cameron's something she doesn't recognize. A family medicating through grief rather than processing it. Then she sees the magazine spread, framed on the wall near the breakfast nook. Architectural Digest, The Harrington Vision. The article date is 3 years old. Michael and Victoria stand in a garden that must be behind the house, their arms around 2 children. Gabrielle, younger but recognizable. Cameron, maybe 9. The headline reads, "Building Family, How Architect Michael Harrington Designs Spaces That Bring People Together." Celeste stares at the photo for a long time. 2 children. Only 2. She's cleaning the second-floor hallway at 11 when she hears it, a rhythmic tapping from above. Steady, insistent, the sound of fingers drumming against something hard. The sound of distress in a language most people don't speak. A door at the hallway's end is marked with a small brass plate. Private, staff restricted. Celeste has learned over 47 years that some rules exist to protect power, not people. She opens the door and climbs the stairs to the forbidden 3rd floor, following the sound of a child who's been alone too long. The tapping grows louder, desperate, accelerating. She finds him in a room that looks like a medical facility pretending to be a bedroom. Nathan sits in the corner where 2 walls meet, rocking in a rhythm that matches his tapping. His fingers drum against the wall, left hand, left, right, a pattern he's probably been maintaining for hours. His noise-canceling headphones hang askew around his neck, one ear cup pressing against his shoulder. A tablet on the floor loops the same educational program, shapes and colors and cheerful, voices repeating lessons to an empty room. The space is large, expensively appointed, and utterly wrong. Padded corners that treat a child like a projectile, bins of therapeutic equipment arranged with clinical precision, visual schedules on the walls that break down every moment of the day into 15-minute increments, behavioral charts tracking things that have no business being tracked. A note sits on the table. Behavioral specialist arrives 3 p.m. Do not engage outside scheduled interventions. Celeste has seen variations of this room before, in different houses, with different families. The well-meaning cage, the expensive isolation, the place where people put children they don't know how to love. Nathan's tapping intensifies. His rocking becomes more pronounced. His eyes fix on something only he can see, somewhere beyond the walls that confine him. She doesn't call for Michael, doesn't wait for the specialist, doesn't follow the rules that created this situation. She simply sits on the floor, 6 feet away from Nathan, her back against the wall. Far enough that he doesn't feel crowded, close enough that he knows he's no longer alone. She doesn't speak, doesn't reach for him, doesn't try to redirect or correct or therapeutically intervene. She just breathes and watches and listens to the rhythm he's creating. Left hand, left, right. After 5 minutes, she begins tapping her own fingers against the hardwood floor, matching his pattern exactly, not interrupting, not correcting, just joining. Nathan's shoulders relax slightly, his rocking slows. Celeste continues the rhythm. Left, right. 15 minutes pass, 20. The tablet keeps looping its educational program, but Nathan has stopped watching it. His attention shifts, gradually, subtly, toward the woman sitting on his floor. 25 minutes. 30. Nathan's hands still, his rocking ceases. He removes the headphones completely, setting them carefully on the floor beside him. He looks at her. Really looks for the first time. His eyes, dark brown, intelligent, infinitely careful, meet hers for just a moment before sliding away. But that moment is enough. Celeste keeps tapping. Left, right. Nathan tilts his head, studying the pattern she's making. Then, so slowly she almost doesn't notice, he shifts his weight, repositions himself, turns a few degrees in her direction. 35 minutes. 40. Celeste knows she'll need to leave soon. There are other rooms to clean, other duties the agency requires. But for now, she stays, present, patient, offering the rarest gift anyone has given this child in 18 months, expectationless companionship. Nathan's hand lifts from his lap, hovers in the air between them. His fingers twitch, left, right, mimicking the rhythm they've created together. Then his hand reaches out, crossing the invisible boundary, and briefly, so briefly, touches hers. The contact lasts maybe 2 seconds, his fingertips grazing her knuckles. A tentative question in gesture rather than words. Celeste doesn't grab his hand or prolong the touch. She simply acknowledges it with a small nod, then returns to tapping. Nathan pulls his hand back, tucking it against his chest, but his posture has changed. The desperate quality of his earlier distress has eased. He's no longer alone with his rhythm. He has a witness, a companion, someone who speaks his language. Dr. Patricia Moss arrives at precisely 3 o'clock, her heels clicking against the marble floors with metronomic precision. She's the kind of professional who treats punctuality as a moral virtue and deviation from protocol as personal affront. She finds Celeste still sitting outside Nathan's door. "What are you doing here?" Dr. Moss's voice carries the clipped authority of someone accustomed to immediate compliance. She's already pulling out her tablet, already documenting this breach. Celeste stands slowly, brushing imaginary dust from her uniform. "Sitting with Nathan." "Sitting." Dr. Moss repeats the word as if it's unfamiliar. "Do you have training in applied behavior analysis, sensory integration therapy, any credentials in developmental intervention?" "No, ma'am." "Then you have no business interfering with his treatment protocol." Dr. Moss moves toward Nathan's door, her body language creating a barrier between Celeste and the room. "Untrained interference disrupts evidence-based interventions. I'll be reporting this to Mr. Harrington." Celeste doesn't argue, doesn't defend herself. She simply asks, "How long has he been up here alone?" The question stops Dr. Moss mid-documentation. Her fingers hover over the tablet screen. "He's not alone. He has scheduled therapeutic sessions." "Between sessions," Celeste interrupts gently. "How long between your visits?" "He requires a controlled environment with minimal sensory input and structured therapeutic interventions." Dr. Moss's response is rehearsed, clinical. "Children with his level of need benefit from reduced social demands, and that's not what I asked." Dr. Moss's jaw tightens. She's not used to housekeepers who don't defer. "Mr. Harrington will hear about this." She enters Nathan's room and closes the door with deliberate firmness. Through the wood, Celeste hears the practiced cheerfulness of therapeutic language, the sound of someone performing care rather than providing it. She returns to her duties. Michael arrives home at 6, exhausted in that bone-deep way that comes from spending an entire day avoiding what matters. Dr. Moss intercepts him in the foyer, tablet extended like evidence in a trial. "We need to discuss your new housekeeper." Michael barely glances at the screen. "What's the problem?" "She's interfering with Nathan's treatment, sitting with him outside scheduled interventions, disrupting his routine." "Sitting with him." Michael's voice is flat, professional fatigue making him sound more dismissive than he intends. "That seems untrained interaction undermines evidence-based protocols, Mr. Harrington. If you want to see continued progress." "Progress." The word catches in Michael's throat. He thinks of Nathan's room, the looping tablet, the increasing isolation. "What progress?" Dr. Moss stiffens. His behavioral charts show. "I'm not asking about charts." Michael sets down his briefcase. "I'm asking about my son." The silence stretches. Dr. Moss recalibrates, her voice shifting to patient explanation. "Autism at Nathan's level requires specialized intervention. The housekeeper, while perhaps well-meaning, lacks the training to..." Celeste appears in the kitchen doorway, drawn by voices. "Ms. Williams," Michael says, and she hears the exhaustion, the man on the edge of a decision he's too tired to make. "Dr. Moss says you've been spending time with Nathan." "Yes, sir, during my lunch break." "Unsupervised," Dr. Moss adds, "without training or authorization." Michael looks at Celeste for a long moment. He's about to fire her. She can see it in the defeated slope of his shoulders, the way he's already composing the agency call in his head. Then she asks the question that changes everything. "When's the last time anyone just sat with your son?" Michael freezes. When's the last time someone sat with Nathan not to fix him, not to redirect him, not to implement an intervention, just to be present? He can't remember. Victoria used to. But after her death, after the specialist took over, after Eleanor convinced him that Nathan needed professional management rather than parental presence, he can't remember. "I'll stay out of the way of his therapy," Celeste says quietly, "but tomorrow, during my lunch break, I'm going to sit with him again. He's a child, not a problem." Michael stands in his architectural masterpiece of a foyer, surrounded by awards for designing spaces that bring people together, and realizes he can't answer her question. Dr. Moss is saying something about protocols, about liability, about the importance of professional boundaries. But Michael is already walking away, climbing the stairs to the 3rd floor. He stands outside Nathan's closed door for the first time in months. His hand reaches for the knob. It stays there, hovering, unable to turn. He can design buildings that house thousands, but he can't open a door to sit with his son. Tuesday begins the pattern. Celeste arrives at 8, moves through her morning duties with practiced efficiency, and at noon, she climbs the stairs to the 3rd floor. She brings her lunch in a simple paper bag. Sandwich, apple, thermos of tea. Nothing elaborate, nothing that demands attention. She sits on the floor outside Nathan's door, her back against the wall, and eats quietly. Nathan, inside, hears the sounds. Footsteps, the soft rustle of a bag, the small domestic noises of someone simply existing nearby. After 20 minutes, Celeste stands, disposes of her trash, and returns to work. Boaz doesn't knock, doesn't call to him, doesn't ask for anything. Wednesday, she sits in the same spot. This time she hears Nathan move closer to the door, not opening it, just positioning himself on the other side. Two people separated by wood and circumstance, sharing space without demands. Thursday afternoon, Celeste tries something new. She opens the door, slowly, giving Nathan time to retreat if he needs to, and sits just inside the threshold, 6 feet of careful distance. She unwraps her sandwich, pours her tea. Nathan is in his usual corner, but his rocking has slowed. His attention shifts between his blocks and this woman who keeps appearing, keeps staying, keeps asking nothing of him. She eats. He watches. After 15 minutes, Nathan picks up one of his blocks, a blue one, perfectly square, and brings it to her, not handing it over, just placing it on the floor between them and offering a question. Celeste sets down her sandwich, picks up the block with both hands as if it's precious, studies it, then places it carefully back on the floor, exactly where Nathan put it. He retrieves it, returns to his corner. But something in his posture has shifted. Meanwhile, the other children are orbiting closer. Gabrielle finds Celeste folding laundry in the second-floor hallway Thursday afternoon. She hovers in her doorway, that careful teenage distance that means she wants to talk but hasn't decided if it's safe. "Why are you different from the others?" Celeste continues folding. "Different how?" "The other housekeepers." Gabrielle steps into the hallway. "They stayed 2 weeks, maybe 3, then they left." "Why do you think they left?" Gabrielle's perfect composure cracks slightly. "Because this house is sad, because we're sad, because pretending we're not is exhausting." Celeste sets down the towel she's folding, looks at this 15-year-old who's trying to hold together a family that's been fragmenting for 18 months. "Your mother died," she says simply. "You're allowed to be sad." Gabrielle's eyes fill. "Grandmother says we need to be strong, that falling apart doesn't honor Mom's memory." "Your grandmother is wrong." The words land like permission. Gabrielle sinks onto the top stair, her careful posture finally collapsing. "We used to be a family," she whispers. "Nathan used to be downstairs. We used to eat together. Mom would make these elaborate Sunday breakfasts, and Nathan would help her crack eggs, and everything was loud and messy and real. Then she died, and Grandmother said Nathan needed appropriate support, and Dad just agreed to everything." Cameron appears at the end of the hallway, headphones around his neck, clearly eavesdropping. "Dad's a coward," he says flatly. "Cameron," Gabrielle starts. "He is." Cameron moves closer, all angry defiance and helpless grief. Grandmother says jump and he asks how high. She says hide, Nathan, and he builds him a prison on the 3rd floor. "It's not a prison," Gabrielle objects, weakly. "Isn't it?" Celeste lets the siblings argue, understanding they need to speak these truths to someone who'll witness them without judgment or defense. When they wind down, she asks, "What happened? After your mother died?" They tell her. The funeral where Nathan melted down from sensory overload. Eleanor's immediate assessment that Nathan was too much for Michael to handle alone. The specialists, the protocols, the gradual isolation. Grandmother convinced Dad it was temporary, Gabrielle explains. Just until the household stabilized, but it's been 18 months. "We're not supposed to talk about it," Cameron adds bitterly. "Especially not to the help." He says, the help, with deliberate edge, testing whether Celeste will take offense. She doesn't. "Your grandmother visits every week?" "Thursdays," Gabrielle confirms. She inspects everything. Celeste files this information away, returns to folding laundry. The children don't leave. They sit with her in the hallway, and for the first time in 18 months, someone lets them tell the truth about their broken family without trying to fix it. Michael works from home on Friday, though works is generous. He sits in his office with architectural plans open on dual monitors, but his attention keeps drifting to the security camera feeds he's never admitted to watching. At noon, Celeste climbs the stairs to the third floor. She carries her paper bag lunch, her movements deliberate and unhurried. She settles outside Nathan's door, her back against the wall, and unwraps her sandwich with the quiet efficiency of someone who's done this before. Michael switches camera angles. Nathan is visible inside his room, no longer rocking desperately in the corner. He sits cross-legged near the door, blocks arranged in careful patterns around him. When Celeste begins eating, Nathan tilts his head, listening to the small sounds of her presence through the wood. After 10 minutes, Celeste opens the door. She doesn't enter fully, just sits in the threshold, maintaining that careful 6-foot distance. She pours tea from her thermos. The steam rises between them. Nathan watches her, really watches, with the kind of focused attention Michael hasn't seen directed at another person in months. Celeste finishes her tea and sets down the cup. She begins tapping her fingers on the hardwood floor, left, right, the rhythm Nathan taught her on Monday. Nathan's hands lift from his lap. His fingers twitch in the same pattern. Then, slowly, he picks up one of his blocks, blue, perfectly square. He brings it to Celeste, not handing it over but placing it on the floor between them with ceremonial care. Celeste picks up the block with both hands, studies it as if it contains secrets. Then, she places it carefully back exactly where Nathan positioned it. Nathan retrieves the block, returns to his corner, but something in his posture has opened. Michael watches this exchange and feels something crack in his chest. That afternoon, Gabrielle comes home from school and finds Celeste folding laundry in the hallway. She hovers in her doorway, that careful teenage distance that means she wants connection, but hasn't decided if it's safe. "Why are you different from the others?" Celeste continues folding. "Different how?" "The other housekeepers stayed 2 weeks, maybe 3. Then they left." "Why do you think they left?" Gabrielle's perfect composure fractures. "Because this house is sad, because we're sad, because pretending we're not is exhausting." Celeste sets down the towel, looks at this 15-year-old carrying the weight of a fragmenting family. "Your mother died. You're allowed to be sad. Grandmother says we need to be strong, that falling apart doesn't honor Mom's memory. Your grandmother is wrong." The words land like permission. Gabrielle sinks under the top stair, her careful posture finally collapsing. She tells Celeste about Sunday breakfasts, about Nathan helping crack eggs, about everything being loud and messy and real before her mother died, and Eleanor decided Nathan was too much. Cameron appears at the hallway's end, headphones around his neck, clearly eavesdropping. "Dad's a coward," he says flatly. Gabrielle objects, but Cameron persists. Grandmother says jump, and he asks how high. She says hide Nathan, and he builds a prison on the 3rd floor. Celeste lets them argue, lets them speak truths that have been festering for 18 months. When they wind down, she asks, "What happened after your mother died?" They tell her everything. The funeral meltdown, Eleanor's immediate intervention, the specialists, protocols, gradual isolation, the fiction that it was temporary, that the household just needed to stabilize. Michael watches from his office doorway, hidden by shadows. He witnesses his children's pain laid bare to the housekeeper because they can't bring it to him. That evening, after Celeste leaves, Michael finally enters Nathan's room. Nathan doesn't retreat. He stays in his corner, blocks arranged in careful patterns. Michael sits where Celeste sits, 6 feet away, respectful distance. 10 minutes pass in silence. Then Nathan picks up a ball from his toy bin and rolls it across the floor. The ball stops at Michael's feet. Michael picks it up with shaking hands and rolls it back. Nathan catches it, considers, rolls it again. They continue this wordless conversation, back and forth, until Michael starts crying, silent tears that won't stop. Nathan sets down the ball, crawls across the 6 feet of careful distance, pats his father's hand once, twice with tentative care. Michael breaks completely. His son, the child he's been avoiding, medicating, hiding, offers comfort while Michael sobs on the floor. The realization settles like architecture. Nathan isn't unreachable. Michael has been unreachable. Saturday morning, Michael calls Celeste's cell phone at 7. She answers on the 3rd ring, her voice, clear and unsurprised. "Mr. Harrington, I need your help." The words come hard, I want to bring Nathan downstairs. Silence. Then, what changed? I sat with him last night. Michael's voice catches. He rolled me a ball. That's good. I haven't sat with my son in 18 months, and you're saying it's good that he rolled me a ball? The shame makes him sharp. Yes, Celeste says simply. It's very good. What time? They decide on Sunday morning, 6 a.m., before the household wakes, before anyone can witness or judge or intervene. Just Michael, Nathan, and Celeste in the kitchen. Sunday arrives cold and clear. Michael stands outside Nathan's door at 5:50, his heart hammering. Celeste arrives at 5:55, carrying a canvas bag that smells like vanilla and cinnamon. Pancakes, she explains. Simple, sensory-friendly, he can help measure. Nathan is already awake, sitting in his corner. He looks up when they enter together, his expression shifting between curiosity and wariness. Nathan, Michael says, then stops. He doesn't know how to do this, doesn't know the language his son speaks. Celeste crouches down, 6 feet away. We're making pancakes downstairs. Want to come? Nathan rocks slightly, processing. The kitchen is unfamiliar territory. Change is hard. Celeste doesn't push. She simply stands and walks to the door, leaving it open behind her. Michael follows her lead, his architect's training finally useful. He positions himself at the top of the stairs, creating a path but not blocking Nathan's retreat. 5 minutes pass. 10. Then Nathan appears in his doorway. He grips the doorframe, rocking on his heels, looking down the long staircase that leads to a part of the house he hasn't visited in over a year. Celeste starts descending slowly. Michael follows. They don't look back, don't call to him, don't demand anything. They just move forward, trusting he'll follow. Halfway down, Michael hears it, the soft pad of Nathan's feet on carpet. He's following, one careful step at a time, his hand trailing along the wall for grounding. The kitchen feels enormous and bright. Nathan stops in the doorway, overwhelmed by space and light and the change in routine. Celeste sits on the floor near the kitchen island, not at a chair, on the floor. Michael hesitates, then follows her example. They sit together on expensive Italian tile, and slowly, Nathan descends from his doorway perch to join them. Celeste opens her canvas bag, pulls out ingredients, pre-measured in clear containers so Nathan can see everything. She sets them in a line, creating visual order from chaos. Flour, she says, holding up the first container. Nathan watches. Sugar, baking powder, salt. She opens a second bag and extracts a large mixing bowl, placing it in the center of their small circle. Want to pour? She offers Nathan the flour container. He takes it with both hands, studying the white powder through clear plastic. Then, carefully, he unscrews the lid and pours. The flour creates small clouds in the bowl. Nathan watches the patterns, mesmerized. They continue. Sugar, baking powder, salt. Each addition draws Nathan deeper into the process, his initial wariness fading into focused engagement. When Gabrielle wanders downstairs at 7:30, drawn by unexpected kitchen sounds, she finds her father and brother sitting on the floor with Celeste, mixing pancake batter and not speaking. She doesn't announce herself, just stands in the hallway, watching this impossible scene, tears streaming down her face. Cameron appears behind her, sleep rumpled and confused. He opens his mouth to speak, but Gabrielle grabs his arm, silencing him. They witness the moment together, their family, broken and tentative, sharing space on a kitchen floor, not fixed, not healed, but finally, honestly present. Monday morning arrives with the kind of clarity that makes promises feel possible. Michael wakes before his alarm, something that hasn't happened in 18 months. He finds Celeste already in the kitchen at 6, preparing ingredients with the same quiet efficiency she brings to everything. The garden? She asks, and he nods. They bring Nathan down together at 6:30 before the household fully wakes. He's tentative on the stairs, one hand trailing the banister, the other clutching the blue block he's carried since yesterday's kitchen success. The morning air is cool, dew still clinging to the grass. Nathan stops at the threshold between house and garden, overwhelmed by the sensory shift. The smell of earth and growing things, the sound of birds establishing territorial claims, the texture of light filtering through tree branches. Celeste doesn't push. She and Michael simply walk into the garden and sit on the stone bench near Victoria's roses. They wait. 5 minutes pass. 10. Nathan's fingers drum against the doorframe. Left, right, his familiar self-regulation pattern. Then, slowly, he steps onto the garden path. His bare feet meet grass and he freezes, processing the sensation. Cool, damp, yielding. He takes another step, another. He makes it to the flower bed and crouches down, studying an earthworm navigating the soil. His fingers hover above it, not quite touching, following its movement with intense focus. Celeste rises and begins pulling weeds from around the roses, her movements deliberate and rhythmic. Michael watches her work, understanding this is an invitation rather than a directive. He joins her, kneeling in the dirt in his expensive pajama pants, feeling soil press against his knees. Nathan abandons the earthworm and moves closer. He picks up a small gardening trowel Celeste has left near the bed, studies it. Then, carefully, pushes it into the earth beside where Michael is working. "Good spot," Michael says quietly, and Nathan digs again. They work in silence for 15 minutes. No agenda, no therapeutic goals, just three people existing together in morning light, hands, in dirt, building something small. Gabrielle appears in the doorway at 7, dressed for school but hesitant to break the moment. She watches her father and brother gardening together, watches Celeste trimming roses with careful precision, and something in her chest loosens. "Can I help?" she asks. Celeste hands her the pruning shears without a word. Gabrielle kneels beside her mother's roses, the roses she's been too afraid to touch since Victoria died, and makes her first cut. Then another. "Mom would plant marigolds here," she says to no one in particular, "every spring. She said they kept the aphids away." "We could plant marigolds," Michael offers. "Yeah," Gabrielle's voice catches, "we could." Cameron appears at 7:15, drawn by the unusual sight of his entire family outside before breakfast. He hovers at the edge of the garden, defensive armor firmly in place. "This is weird," he announces. "Extremely weird," Michael agrees. Cameron considers. Then he walks over to where Nathan is digging and crouches beside him. "Find any worms?" Nathan points to 3 earthworms he's carefully relocated to a pile of mulch. "Cool." Cameron picks up a stick and gently moves aside some leaves, revealing another. "Look. Family reunion." Nathan's face breaks into a smile, a real smile, not the reflexive grimace he sometimes produces for therapists. He carefully adds the new earthworm to his collection. They stay in the garden for 45 minutes that first morning. When Nathan starts showing signs of overwhelm, increased stimming, withdrawal from proximity, Celeste simply stands and begins walking toward the house. Nathan follows. The others trail behind. Inside, they're all covered in dirt. Michael looks at his children, really looks, and sees them disheveled and present and real. "Tomorrow morning?" Gabrielle asks. "Tomorrow morning," Michael confirms, and just like that, they've built a ritual. Not because a specialist prescribed it, not because Eleanor would approve, but because this family is learning to exist together again in small, honest moments. Thursday arrives with Eleanor Harrington. She sweeps through the front entrance at precisely 10 a.m., as she has every Thursday for 18 months, bringing with her the scent of expensive perfume and the weight of inherited expectations. Her driver carries her leather portfolio. Her assistant trails behind with a tablet, documenting observations. Eleanor finds Nathan in the living room, not on the 3rd floor, not supervised by Dr. Moss. In the living room, sitting on the floor near the window, building an elaborate structure with his blocks while Celeste folds laundry on the nearby sofa. Eleanor stops in the doorway. Her posture goes rigid. "Michael!" Her voice carries through the mansion with aristocratic command. Michael emerges from his office, Gabrielle and Cameron appearing behind him on the stairs. They've been expecting this confrontation for 4 days, preparing for it in mourning. In garden sessions filled with quiet discussions about what matters most. "Mother?" Michael keeps his voice even. "What is that child doing downstairs?" Eleanor's voice drops to a sharp whisper, as if Nathan's presence is an obscenity to be discussed discreetly. "His name is Nathan," Michael says, "and he lives here. In a controlled environment, Michael, on the 3rd floor where he can receive appropriate care without disrupting." She stops, her gaze shifting to Celeste. "And why is the help supervising him? Where is Dr. Moss?" Celeste continues folding laundry, her movement steady and unhurried. She doesn't look up, doesn't engage. She simply exists, refusing to be dismissed by Eleanor's tone. Dr. Moss no longer works here, Michael says. I've hired Dr. Chen instead. He specializes in relationship-based intervention. Eleanor's jaw tightens. She turns to her assistant. Notes: household instability, inappropriate staffing changes, untrained caregiver given authority over vulnerable child. She pulls out her tablet, fingers moving with practiced efficiency. The gala is in 2 weeks, Michael. The promotional materials feature you and the 2 accomplished children. That's the narrative donors expect. Grieving widower, 2 photogenic offspring carrying on Victoria's legacy. That's what maintains funding. That's what honors your wife's work. That narrative erases Nathan, Michael says quietly. That narrative protects this family. Eleanor's composure cracks slightly. Do you understand what happens if we present a chaotic household? If donors see dysfunction? If the foundation loses credibility? I understand that I've been hiding my son. You've been providing him appropriate care in a structured environment away from sensory overwhelm and social demands he can't meet. Nathan's block tower topples. The crash makes everyone flinch except Celeste, who simply sets down her laundry and moves to sit on the floor near Nathan, 6 feet away, respectful distance, offering silent companionship as he begins rebuilding. Eleanor watches this interaction with barely concealed disgust. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Untrained interference, permissive enabling. Michael, I'm trying to save this family from your grief-clouded judgment. She takes a breath, recalibrating to her most reasonable tone. I've consulted with attorneys. I can convene an emergency board meeting and have you removed. I can petition family court for custody of all 3 children, citing household instability and inability to provide appropriate care. I have documentation. 4 fired housekeepers, increased medications, Dr. Moss's testimony about disrupted protocols. The room goes silent. Or, Eleanor continues, you can send Nathan back upstairs, dismiss this housekeeper, reinstate Dr. Moss, and we present the appropriate family configuration at the gala, clean, dignified, honoring Victoria's legacy. Celeste stands and walks quietly to Nathan. She holds out her hand. He takes it, rising to his feet. Nathan isn't a complication, Celeste says softly. He's your grandson. Eleanor turns cold. You're fired. Pack your things. Michael opens his mouth to object, then closes it. The old paralysis returns. His mother's authority, Victoria's legacy, the fear of choosing wrong. Celeste nods once. She squeezes Nathan's hand gently, then releases it and walks toward the service entrance. Nathan watches her go. His breathing becomes rapid. His hands begin their distressed tapping. Left, right, accelerating. Then he runs after her. Thursday evening settles over the Harrington estate like a held breath. Celeste is gone. The door she walked through 2 hours ago remains closed, but her absence fills every room. Nathan sits at the top of the 3rd floor stairs, rocking. His hands tap against his knees, left, right, the rhythm accelerating with each passing minute. He hasn't retreated to his room. He's positioned himself at the boundary between floors, waiting for footsteps that won't come. Michael stands in the kitchen, Eleanor's ultimatum echoing in his skull. Send Nathan back upstairs, or I'll take all 3 children. The words are clinical, reasonable. Eleanor has documentation, 4 fired housekeepers, increased medications, Michael's own therapist's notes about complicated grief and difficulty with executive function. She has Dr. Moss ready to testify about disrupted protocols and untrained interference. Eleanor has everything except what matters. Gabrielle appears in the kitchen doorway, her perfect posture finally abandoned. You let her fire Celeste. Your grandmother is a liar. Gabrielle's voice cracks. She says she's protecting us, but Mom wouldn't have wanted this. Mom would have wanted Nathan with us. Your mother had systems, Michael says weakly. Structures. She knew how to... Mom loved him. Gabrielle moves closer, and Michael sees his daughter clearly for the first time in months. The dark circles under her eyes, the way her school uniform hangs looser than it should. She didn't manage him. She loved him. And we've been pretending that's the same thing. Cameron appears behind his sister, for once without headphones. Nathan hasn't eaten since Celeste left. He won't come downstairs. He's just sitting there waiting. Michael closes his eyes. When he opens them, His children are still watching him, waiting for him to be the parent they need. I don't know how to fix this, he admits. Then don't fix it, Gabrielle says. Just be dad again. Friday morning, Michael calls the agency. A new housekeeper could start Monday. Professional, experienced with challenging households. She comes highly recommended. He cancels the request before hanging up. Instead, he drives to Stamford, to the modest apartment complex where the agency said Celeste lives. He finds her on the front porch, exactly where he expected, sitting in a weathered chair, drinking tea, watching the sunrise. She doesn't look surprised to see him. Nathan won't eat, Michael says without preamble. Gabrielle's panic attacks are back. Cameron packed a bag last night. He was actually going to run away. Celeste sips her tea. Waits. I've spent 18 months letting my mother control this family because I was too afraid to trust myself. Victoria handled everything emotional, the feelings, the connections, the hard conversations. I did logistics. And when she died, I just outsourced the parts of parenting I didn't know how to do. Parenting isn't logistics, Celeste says quietly. I know. Michael's voice breaks. I know that now, because you showed up and sat on a floor with my son, and that was more valuable than 18 months of expensive specialists treating him like a problem to solve. Nathan was never the problem. No. Michael looks at this woman who saw his family clearly when he couldn't. We were. Our shame, our fear, our need for everything to look right instead of being right. Celeste sets down her tea. What are you asking, Mr. Harrington? Come back, he says. Not because I'm helpless. Not because I need you to fix what I've broken, but because you're part of this family now, and families don't walk away from each other. Your mother will fight. Let her fight. Michael straightens. I'm done choosing comfort over my children. Celeste studies him for a long moment. Then she stands. I'll need to pack a bag. Sunday morning arrives bright and cold. Michael stands in his home office at dawn, phone in hand, Eleanor's number on the screen. He's rehearsed this conversation a dozen times. None of the rehearsals feel adequate. He calls anyway. Michael. Eleanor's voice carries its usual crisp authority. I trust you've had time to reconsider Thursday's unfortunate scene. I'm calling to tell you that Celeste is returning today. Nathan will remain integrated into family life. Dr. Chen will continue as his primary specialist. Silence. Then, I see you've chosen poorly. I've chosen my children. You've chosen chaos. Eleanor's tone shifts, becoming almost gentle. Michael, I understand grief has clouded your judgment. That's why I'm trying to help. But if you persist in this course, I'll have no choice but to proceed with legal intervention. Michael walks to the window. Below, the garden waits for this morning's ritual, the pattern his family has built together over 10 days of tentative mornings. Not fixed, not healed, but honestly present. You'll lose, Eleanor continues. I have documentation, testimony, resources. The court will see an unstable widower unable to provide appropriate care for a high-needs child. They'll see household chaos, multiple staffing failures, and against medical advice, you replaced a credentialed specialist with a housekeeper. They'll see a father who chose presence over perfection. They'll see incompetence. Eleanor's patience fractures. The gala is in 2 weeks, Michael. The promotional materials feature you and 2 children. That's the narrative donors expect. That's what protects the foundation Victoria spent her life building. Victoria built a foundation to support families with disabled children, Michael says quietly. By hiding Nathan, we've betrayed everything she believed. I'm protecting her legacy. You're protecting your own comfort. The truth arrives fully formed. Nathan's autism embarrasses you. His stimming, his nonverbal communication, his inability to perform normalcy, it threatens the image you've spent decades cultivating. How dare you? I'm done, Mother. Michael's voice steadies. You can convene your board meeting. You can petition for custody, but you won't win. Because when a judge asks my children who they want, all 3 will tell the truth. They want to be together. With me. With Celeste. Building a real family instead of performing a fake one. You'll lose everything. The foundation, the estate, your social standing. I've already lost everything that matters. Michael's chest loosens. Victoria died. My children nearly disappeared into grief because I was too afraid to parent them honestly. I almost lost Nathan completely because you convinced me that loving him meant hiding him. So yes, I might lose the foundation, but I'll keep my family." Eleanor's breath catches. For the first time, she sounds uncertain. "I'm trying to help." "I know you believe that." Michael softens slightly. "But your help is killing us, so I'm asking you to step back, give us space to rebuild on our own terms, or proceed with your legal threats, and we'll see what a judge says about a grandmother who thinks her grandson should be hidden to protect fundraising." Long silence. Then Eleanor ends the call. Michael sets down the phone. His hands shake. Behind him, the door opens. Celeste stands in the threshold, small overnight bag in hand. "Ready?" Before Michael can answer, footsteps thunder down the stairs. Nathan appears first, followed by Gabrielle and Cameron. They converge in the office doorway, drawn by Celeste's return. Nathan walks straight to her and takes her hand. Doesn't look at Michael, just holds Celeste's hand and rocks slightly, grounding himself in her presence. "Garden?" Celeste asks. "Garden," Michael confirms. They walk together through the quiet house, all 5 of them. In the kitchen, Celeste begins preparing tea. Gabrielle finds the pruning shears. Cameron locates Nathan's gardening trowel. Michael opens the back door. Dawn light spills across Victoria's roses, and for the first time in 18 months, Michael understands. Healing doesn't require erasing grief. It requires choosing every morning to show up honestly. They step into the garden together, building something fragile and real from the broken pieces. Monday morning, Michael sits across from his attorney in a glass-walled conference room that smells like expensive leather and desperation. James Chen, not the doctor, but the lawyer, spreads documents across the table with the careful precision of someone delivering bad news. "Eleanor's case is strong," Chen says. 4 housekeepers in 18 months. Medication increases for all 3 children. Your own therapist's notes about grief-related decision-making challenges. Those notes are confidential. Victoria's estate gave Eleanor access as co-trustee. Chen taps a file. Dr. Moss has submitted a detailed report about unauthorized interventions disrupting evidence-based protocols. Eleanor's narrative is that you're too grief-stricken to manage a complex household, especially with Nathan's needs. Michael stares out the window at Hartford's financial district. Buildings he's designed punctuate the skyline, monuments to his ability to create spaces that work, but he can't design his way out of this. "What do I have?" he asks. "The truth." Chen leans forward. "Document everything. Nathan's progress, the other children's improved well-being, your increased engagement. Show the court that your current arrangement serves the children's best interests." Michael calls Celeste from the parking garage. "We need to document everything." For 3 days, they build their case. Celeste films morning garden sessions on Michael's phone, Nathan speaking his 15-word functional vocabulary, his ability to self-regulate through grounding techniques she's taught him, the way he initiates connection on his own terms now. Gabrielle's school attendance has improved from 60% to 95% in 2 weeks. Her panic attacks have decreased. She's sleeping without medication. Cameron's therapist, the one Michael hired to replace Eleanor's choice, writes a letter describing marked improvement in emotional regulation and family engagement. Michael compiles it all into a binder that feels simultaneously substantial and inadequate. Evidence of healing measured in percentages and word counts in attendance records, when the real changes happen in moments too small to quantify. Wednesday afternoon, Dr. Moss submits her counter-report to Eleanor. Michael's attorney forwards a copy. She's doubling down, Chen warns. Claims Nathan's progress is superficial and that removing him from structured intervention will cause long-term developmental harm. She's recommending a return to intensive ABA therapy under clinical supervision. No, Michael's voice is flat. Then we need our own expert. Michael fires Dr. Moss officially and hires Dr. James Chen, the doctor, not the lawyer. Dr. Chen spends 2 days observing the family. He watches morning garden rituals, afternoon homework sessions, dinner preparations where Nathan helps measure ingredients while Celeste supervises. "This is remarkable," Dr. Chen says Thursday evening. "Nathan has secure attachments forming with all family members. His siblings are developing natural accommodations rather than learned interventions. This is exactly what neurodivergent children need: acceptance within relationship, not compliance through protocol. Can you testify to that? Absolutely. But Michael, Dr. Chen's expression becomes serious. Eleanor will argue that Celeste lacks credentials, that your household is unstable, that you're prioritizing feel-good attachment over Nathan's clinical needs. Are you prepared for that fight? Wednesday evening, the notice arrives. Eleanor has scheduled family mediation for Friday. Not a court hearing yet, but a formal proceeding with a mediator, attorneys, and expert witnesses. Michael gathers his children in the garden at sunset, tells them everything honestly. Grandmother wants to separate them, claims their father isn't capable, has documentation and experts, and poor. What can we do? Gabrielle asks, her voice small. Michael doesn't have an answer, but Celeste says quietly, "You can tell the truth. Not her truth, yours." That night, Michael can't sleep. He stands at Nathan's door, no longer closed, no longer forbidden, and watches his son sleep peacefully for the first time in 18 months. He thinks about courtrooms and mediators and expert testimony, about Eleanor's institutional power and his own 18 months of complicity. Then he thinks about garden rituals and kitchen pancakes, and the way Nathan now reaches for his hand unprompted. He knows which one matters more. Thursday morning, Michael cancels all meetings. He spends the day preparing his children for tomorrow's mediation with the kind of honest communication he should have offered 18 months ago. He starts with Gabrielle, finding her in a room surrounded by color-coded study materials that suddenly look less like organization and more like armor. "Tomorrow might be hard," he says, sitting on her bed. "The mediator might ask you questions. You can say anything you want or nothing at all. It's your choice." "Will grandmother be there?" "Yes." Gabrielle's hands twist in her lap. "Can I say I want Celeste to stay?" "You can say anything that's true for you." "What if the truth makes grandmother angry?" Michael looks at his daughter, 15 years old, carrying the weight of maintaining family peace since her mother died. "Then she'll be angry. But you deserve to be heard more than she deserves to be comfortable." Something in Gabrielle's shoulders loosens. "I've been so scared of disappointing everyone." "You could never disappoint me by being honest." With Cameron, the conversation is different. They sit in the media room, controllers abandoned, speaking the blunt language Cameron needs. "Grandmother wants custody of all of us," Michael says. "Claims I can't handle things. Tomorrow we fight back." About time. Cameron's anger is a relief, at least it's honest. What happens if she wins? "I don't know, but I'm not going to let that happen without fighting." "Will they make Nathan go back upstairs?" "Not if I have anything to say about it." Cameron studies his father, with careful assessment. "You mean that?" "Yes." "Okay." Cameron nods once. "Then I'll tell them what I think about grandmother's appropriate care." With Nathan, Celeste takes the lead. She sits beside him with picture cards, simple language, preparing him for tomorrow's unfamiliar environment without making promises she can't keep. "Tomorrow we go to a different building," she says, showing a card. "New place, might feel scary." Nathan rocks slightly, processing. "Your dad will be there. Gabrielle, Cameron, me." Nathan's hand finds hers. "Stay?" "I'll stay as long as you want me to." That evening, Cameron finds Celeste in the kitchen. "Why do you even care about us?" The question is aggressive, but his eyes are desperate. Celeste sets down the dish she's washing, tells them about Maya, about leukemia taking her daughter 5 years ago at age 7, about her marriage dissolving because her husband wanted to move forward, while Celeste needed to honor the loss. "I became a housekeeper because taking care of homes and families was the only work that felt meaningful after Maya died," she says. "I worked for 6 families in 5 years, never stayed longer than temporary contracts, never let myself get attached." "What changed?" Gabrielle asks, appearing in the doorway. "Nathan." Celeste's voice is simple, honest. "The first day, when I found him alone on the 3rd floor, something in me just refused to walk away. And then I met all of you, and you were so busy pretending to be okay that nobody was actually okay. You reminded me that grief doesn't heal through performance." "We didn't fill the hole Maya left," Cameron says quietly. "No." Celeste looks at each of them. "But you made it feel less empty. And that's enough." Michael stands in the hallway, listening to this moment of brutal honesty. Tomorrow, they'll face Eleanor's institutional power, her documented evidence, her clinical experts. But tonight, in this kitchen, his family is telling each other the truth, and maybe that's the only preparation that matters. Friday morning arrives with the weight of a verdict not yet delivered. The conference room sits on the third floor of a nondescript office building in Hartford, all glass walls and neutral carpet, designed for the dismantling of families with corporate efficiency. Eleanor arrives first, flanked by two attorneys who carry briefcases thick with documentation. Her posture is perfect, her suit impeccable, her expression carefully calibrated to suggest concern rather than control. She positions herself at the head of the table as if she's already won. Michael enters with his attorney, Dr. Chen trailing behind with a folder of observations. His children follow. Gabrielle in her school uniform, Cameron in jeans and a hoodie that's probably a small act of rebellion, Nathan holding Celeste's hand. Eleanor's lips tighten when she sees Nathan. Celeste she ignores completely, as if refusing to acknowledge someone's existence can erase their impact. Mediator Judith Ramirez enters last, carrying the careful neutrality of someone who's witnessed too many families implode. She's younger than Michael expected, with gray threading her dark hair and lines around her eyes that suggest she's learned to see through performance. "This is an attempt to avoid litigation," she begins. "Mrs. Harrington has expressed concerns about household stability and appropriate care for Nathan. Mr. Harrington disputes these concerns. We're here to find resolution." Eleanor's lead attorney opens with devastating precision. Documentation of 4 fired housekeepers in 18 months. Medication increases for all 3 children. Michael's therapist's notes about complicated grief and difficulty with parenting decisions. Dr. Moss's detailed report about disrupted evidence-based protocols and untrained caregiver given inappropriate authority. The consultant presents statistics about single fathers failing to manage special needs children, about household chaos predicting poor outcomes, about the importance of clinical oversight versus emotional attachment. It's systematic, professional, crushing. Michael watches his 18 months of paralysis weaponized against him, every failure cataloged, every moment of grief-clouded judgment documented. Eleanor isn't lying. She's just presenting truth without context, facts without meaning. During the lunch break, Michael nearly concedes. Then Gabrielle appears beside him in the hallway. "It's our turn now, right?" The afternoon session begins with Dr. Chen presenting Nathan's documented progress. Expanded vocabulary, self-regulation through relationship rather than protocol, secure attachments forming with all family members, natural accommodations from siblings rather than learned interventions. "This," Dr. Chen says quietly, "is exactly what neurodivergent children need, not compliance, connection." Then mediator Ramirez asks if the children wish to speak. Eleanor objects immediately. "They're minors. They shouldn't be subjected to—" "They have the right to be heard," Ramirez interrupts gently. Gabrielle speaks first, her voice steady despite shaking hands. She describes panic attacks, the pressure to maintain perfection, the feeling that she had to erase Nathan to keep the family acceptable. "Celeste is the first person who let us be sad, who said we didn't have to perform grief." Cameron follows, blunt and angry. "Grandmother visits every week, but never once asked Nathan how he is. She doesn't want a grandson. She wants a story she can control." Then comes the moment that shifts everything. Nathan stands. Everyone freezes. He rarely initiates movement in unfamiliar spaces, rarely draws attention voluntarily. But he walks across the room to where Eleanor sits, her composure finally cracking. He looks at his grandmother with those careful, intelligent eyes and speaks the longest sentence anyone's heard from him since Victoria's death. "You don't see me. Celeste sees me." The room goes completely silent. Nathan walks to Celeste, takes her hand and says one more word. "Stay." Eleanor's hands tremble. For the first time, she looks uncertain rather than commanding. Mediator Ramirez sets down her pen and looks directly at Eleanor. "Mrs. Harrington, I'm seeing a functioning family here." The silence following Nathan's testimony stretches like held breath. Mediator Ramirez turns to Michael, her expression carefully neutral, but her eyes revealing something. Maybe recognition, maybe respect. Mr. Harrington, what custody arrangement are you proposing? Michael straightens, feeling the weight of 18 months lifting. Full custody of all 3 children. I want Celeste formally recognized as their caregiver with decision-making input regarding Nathan's treatment. And I want my mother to have supervised visitation contingent on family therapy. Eleanor's composure shatters. You can't be serious. I've dedicated my life to this family. You've dedicated your life to an image, Michael interrupts quietly, and that image required erasing my son. I was protecting him. From what? Being seen? Being loved as he is? Michael's voice doesn't rise, but something in it has changed. You convinced me that appropriate care meant isolation, that professional management was more important than parental presence, that maintaining the foundation's reputation mattered more than Nathan's belonging. Eleanor turns to Ramirez. His judgment is clearly compromised. The documentation shows a father who spent 18 months following your advice, Michael says. 4 housekeepers quit because this house was dying. My children were medicated into numbness. Nathan was locked on the 3rd floor like a shameful secret. That's not protection, that's erasure. How dare you? I dare because I'm done. Michael looks at his mother and sees her clearly for the first time. You genuinely believe you're helping. You think control equals safety, that image protects reputation, that hiding Nathan serves everyone. But your help has been killing us. Eleanor's attorney attempts intervention, but Ramirez raises a hand. Mrs. Harrington, I need to be direct. Your grandson just demonstrated clear attachment and communication. His siblings testified to improved well-being. Dr. Chen's assessment shows progress through relationship-based care. Your concerns about household instability appear to prioritize institutional credibility over children's actual needs. The foundation, Michael says, was built by Victoria to support families with disabled children. By hiding Nathan, we've betrayed everything she believed. I'm protecting her legacy. You're protecting your comfort. The truth arrives fully formed. Nathan's autism embarrasses you. His stimming, his nonverbal communication, his inability to perform normalcy, it threatens the image you've spent decades cultivating. Eleanor Cayetoise stands abruptly. I won't sit here and be, then leave. Michael's voice is gentle now, almost sad. But understand this. If you proceed with custody litigation, every judge will hear what happened here today. They'll hear Nathan say, I don't see him. They'll hear Gabrielle describe panic attacks from maintaining your perfection. They'll hear Cameron call your appropriate care a prison. You're choosing chaos over stability. I'm choosing presence over perfection. Michael looks at his children, all 3 of them, together. And if that costs me the foundation, the estate, your approval, then so be it. I've already lost everything that matters. I'm not losing it again. Eleanor's breath catches. For a moment, Michael sees beneath her armor genuine fear, genuine confusion. She truly believed she was helping, but belief doesn't negate harm. Give us space, Michael says softly. Let us rebuild, or proceed with litigation, and let a judge decide whether a grandmother who thinks her grandson should be hidden deserves custody. Ramirez closes her folder. I'm recommending custody remain with Mr. Harrington. Mrs. Harrington, if you wish to maintain relationship with your grandchildren, I strongly suggest family therapy and supervised visitation. Eleanor leaves without another word, her attorneys trailing behind. Michael sits heavily, suddenly exhausted. Then Nathan appears beside him, pressing the blue block into his father's hand. Stay, Nathan says simply. Yeah. Michael's voice breaks. I'm staying. 2 weeks after the mediation, Michael stands backstage at the Harrington Foundation Gala, rewriting his keynote speech for the 3rd time. The ballroom beyond holds 300 donors expecting the narrative Eleanor crafted: grieving widower, 2 accomplished children, dignified perseverance. They're about to get something different. Gabrielle appears beside him, elegant in her mother's pearls. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. Michael folds the speech into his pocket. He won't need notes for what he's about to say. Cameron adjusts his tie with visible discomfort. Grandmother's out there, front row. Michael had invited Eleanor personally, offering her a choice: witness the family's truth or absent herself completely. She chose to come, though whether from genuine interest or strategic positioning remains unclear. Nathan sits in the green room with Celeste, wearing noise-canceling headphones and his favorite blue shirt. Dr. Chen had suggested keeping him backstage, but Michael refused. His son belongs with his family. At precisely 7 o'clock, Michael walks onto the stage. 300 faces turn toward him. Foundation board members, major donors, society journalists, all expecting the performance Eleanor choreographed. Michael begins differently. 18 months ago, my wife Victoria died suddenly. Tonight, I'm supposed to tell you how we've honored her legacy through strength and dignity. He pauses. Instead, I'm going to tell you the truth about how we almost destroyed everything she built. The room goes silent. Victoria founded this organization to support families with disabled children, but after she died, I hid my autistic son on the 3rd floor of our house. I let specialists manage him like a problem rather than parent him like a person. I medicated my other children into numbness and called it stability. Michael signals to the wings. Gabrielle and Cameron walk out first, then Nathan, hand in Celeste's, stimming freely, wearing his headphones. Several donors shift uncomfortably. Michael sees Eleanor in the front row, her face carefully neutral. This is Nathan. He's 8 years old, he's autistic, and for 18 months he existed in isolation because I was too grief-stricken and ashamed to let him be part of our family. Michael's voice steadies. Then an extraordinary woman named Celeste Williams took a housekeeping job and refused to participate in our fiction. He describes Celeste sitting on Nathan's floor, matching his rhythm, offering presents without agenda. He talks about morning garden rituals, kitchen pancakes, the slow rebuilding of honest connection. The Foundation's mission is supporting neurodivergent children and their families, but you can't support what you're ashamed to acknowledge. So tonight, I'm announcing we're redirecting our focus toward relationship-based intervention and family support rather than institutional solutions. Half the audience erupts in applause. The other half sits in stunned silence. Michael watches donations evaporate in real time, several major supporters already reaching for phones. We'll probably lose funding, Michael continues. Some of you will leave. That's okay. Because this foundation was built on Victoria's belief that every child deserves to be seen, loved, and supported exactly as they are. Not managed, not hidden, not fixed, accepted. He steps back from the podium. I'm stepping down as board chair to focus on being present for my children. If you want to support that mission, the real mission, we'd be honored. If not, I understand. The applause that follows is smaller but fiercer. Michael returns to his family backstage, where Nathan immediately removes his headphones. Loud, Nathan observes. Yeah, Michael crouches down. Too loud? Nathan considers, then shakes his head. Okay, loud. 1 month later, the new morning ritual is firmly established. Michael, Gabrielle, Cameron, Nathan, and Celeste sit in the garden as the sun rises. Sometimes they talk about Victoria, not the perfect memory Eleanor preferred, but the real woman. Flawed, loving, fierce. Sometimes Nathan scripts lines from his favorite shows. Sometimes Gabrielle reads poetry. Sometimes Cameron just sits in comfortable silence. They've built something fragile and honest from broken pieces, not a replacement for what was lost, but a family that honors the past while choosing to live authentically in the present.